folks, my name is Mark and this is Why I Hate the World. How you doing? So I already made a serious video, and I think maybe now I'll make a funny, not so serious video. Maybe that'll be a good pattern going forward, one serious and one not so serious every month or something. You guys met my cat, right? Anyway, so this is another edition of Things I Don't Care About. And first thing I want to talk about is this whole feminism versus atheism thing. Like, I just don't give a shit about that. And I might have talked about that in one of my last videos. I can't remember. It's been a while. But in case I haven't, I just don't care. I mean, some people have asked me to make videos regarding that, and like, Thunderfoot and all that shit, and Coffeegate. That was another thing. Like, there's this atheist feminist named Rebecca Watson, who I actually kind of like her videos. They're actually pretty good. And she had this big, she got in this big thing because some dude asked her for coffee at like 4 in the morning, basically. Want to come up to my room with some coffee? Yeah, she's like, don't sexualize me. And that apparently turned out to be a big fucking deal, and now everybody's like, and either taking the Thunderfoot camp or like her camp or whatever. And I just don't fucking care. It's like, I just don't care. It doesn't really matter to me. If you like feminism, then like feminism. If you don't like it, then don't like it. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you support it, then support it. If you don't support it, then fuck you. I don't really care. I don't give a shit. Sorry, it doesn't affect me at all because I'm not an atheist and I'm not even really a feminist. I don't really give a shit. I support a lot of what feminism supports, but I don't know if I could consider myself a feminist. I support equality and all that shit, but there's a lot of stupid bullshit that comes with feminism, like, rape culture and crap like that, I just don't fucking care about, Similarly, I mean, speaking of feminism, sexism in comic books and movies and video games, I don't give a shit about that either. I really don't. It's kind of like, that's another thing that you hear from the really angry feminist types, that they make videos and they talk about like how, women are sexualized here and there, and it's fantasy, and and they're made to be like these impossible fantasy objects and stuff like that. And the thing is, I want to say is that's the point. Okay, when I play a video game or I watch a movie or whatever, I want to see fantasy. I'm watching fantasy, right? That's what it is. It's not real life. It's fantasy. It's if I'm playing a video game and the woman character and her armor is all revealing and shit, that's because it's not real. Okay, like in real life, women don't go walking around and like, with their entire like titties hanging out and bare and everything, and then just like their shoulder, like one shoulder protected with armor and their legs. I mean, that's stupid because in the Middle Ages and shit, that wouldn't have happened either, because, well, frankly, women weren't allowed in battle and they were considered property and shit. I mean, it's fantasy for a reason. It doesn't exist. It's not real life. I mean, I'm able to distinguish between reality and fantasy, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe these feminist people aren't, but it just doesn't bother me. I mean, if I want to watch a movie, and it's got like Kate, whatever her name is, like an underworld blowing away vampires and werewolves and shit, and she's like in this skin tight fucking leather stuff showing off her bazungas or whatever, that's fantasy. That's what I want to see. People pay to see that. I mean, no one's gonna go see a movie with some fat ugly chick blowing away zombies, are they? I mean, not really. Like, who cares? Or maybe there should be. Maybe somebody should make a movie for that. Fat girl versus zombies or something, and let's see how it does. But in the meantime, until somebody makes that movie, just shut the fuck up about like, objectifying women in sci-fi fantasy. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like, if people want to see that, that's what they're gonna pay for. If they don't want to see it, then they won't pay for it. I mean, if you like it, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. Big fucking deal. And go make your own movie. Like, I have a very libertarian attitude when it comes to this kind of thing, because it just blows me away. It's like, I mean, I can understand not putting stereotypes and stuff like that, and yeah, in a sense, yeah, maybe we are objectifying women, but this is what people want to see, including many women. Okay, I mean, and it's not real. That's the thing. Nobody's like, it's a lot different than like portraying like. Because I've heard like, they say like it's no different than like, stereotypes of black people in the 30s and 40s, and that's different. That's like, nobody's like in society, like, a woman is not like getting a job today because like the man that's hiring her is like imagining her in some kind of fantasy armor fighting like, fighting skeletons and stuff. I mean, It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you know, I mean, you notice the men in these games and comics and everything are like, you know, objectified too. You know, they're like these big buff dudes with huge muscles and all that stuff, and they don't wear any armor either, and it's all bare with like one wearing a helmet, Conan the Barbarian types too. I mean, it's because it's not fucking real. You know, how come nobody's complaining about that shit? It's like, how come all the guys in my video games are big, buff, huge He-Man guys? You know, no one's giving a fuck about that. They're complaining about the women being all fucking skimpy clothed, and it's because it's not fucking real, alright? Just get that, please. Anyone out there who is offended by that, just understand that it's not real. And then move on with your life, please. Okay? And while we're on the subject of geek culture, another thing that I don't understand is these people that are like anti-geek girl. Like, when did this fucking happen? Like, okay, because I keep seeing this out there on the internet and everything, where like, you know, guys like me, right, big smelly fat dudes with like too much body hair, who are into very geeky things that they should have gave up when they were children, you know, much like myself, seem to be complaining that women are starting to get into the things that they get into, you know. I mean, we're seeing a lot, you know, because we have all these comic book movies, you know, the Avengers and Batman and the Dark Knight and all that. A lot of what was considered dorky is starting to become more mainstream, and more people are going into it. And I see this, you know, I have these conventions because I don't know if you guys don't know this, but I self-publish, right? I have my own comic book series, kind of, sort of. And, you know, I go to the conventions and I buy a table and sell comics to people, and I'm starting to see bigger crowds at each one, you know, like, I mean, it's fucking awesome, I think. You know, like, you go to Comic-Con International in San Diego, you can't even fucking get in it anymore. It sells out in like an hour. It's crazy. I'm not even going this year. It fucking sucks. Because, you know, it's more popular because people are getting into this stuff, you know, movies and video games and toys and all that, and, you know, people like it, right? And generally, this, believe it or not, this actually has a lot to do with economic cycles. You know, the shittier the economy is, the more people want to escape, but that's another video. Anyway, so one thing I'm seeing is, like, you know, these geek guys who are getting mad at geek girls, and I just want to know, like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you know, you should be happy as a man, not much unlike myself, who it's, you know, interactions with the fairer sex are very rare, usually, for men like me, okay? Alright, I happen to be in a very good relationship now, which is awesome, with a very, very beautiful and awesome girl. And, you know, she's a geek girl. You know, she's really, really cool. And, you know, I just want to say, like, you know, if you're mad that women are starting to take an interest in the things that you like, then you're a fucking idiot. There's just no other, like, dude, just be happy that there are women there now, and get over your fucking, you know, social, like, you know, ineptness, and go talk to them, okay? Because they like the shit that you like, right? You already have one up, right? You have things in common with these women. They're not going to turn you down just because you, like, read the X-Men and shit, okay? So just, Jesus Christ. It's like, of all the things you can get mad at, that's like the stupidest fucking thing I could imagine, so. Ugh. Let's move back to politics. So a lot of people have asked me to make some videos about all these Obama scandals. I just made one about the NSA. But people ask me why I haven't made videos about Benghazi, or there's also this Tea Party scandal with the IRS, which, if you guys don't know about it, it's apparently the IRS back in the election, the 2008 election, they would take anything that sounded like it was, you know, anything that had the word Tea Party in it or anything like that, and they would give it extra scrutiny to, you know, make sure that it, like, held to 501 status, right? And I haven't made videos about those because I don't think that those are actually real scandals. I think those are bullshit, right? The Tea Party thing, I think that's exactly what should have happened, right? Because these in case you don't know, in order to qualify for a 501 status, that means that you have to, like, your primary function can't be political, and in my opinion, the primary function of these Tea Party groups is political. The reason why these groups were formed was to unelect Barack Obama. It wasn't to elect Mitt Romney, it was to unelect Barack Obama. That's exactly why they were formed in 2008. That's exactly why most of them aren't around anymore, right? And the IRS should have, in my opinion, should have rejected all of them. And if you guys don't know anything about this, like apparently the only one that really got rejected was a liberal group, you know, which was like a little bit too pro-Obama for like them, you know. So it's a fake-ass, phony fucking scandal. You know, the IRS did exactly what they were supposed to fucking do, right? None of them got rejected in the first place. The only one that did get rejected was a liberal group. It's bullshit, and they're just using it to smear them. And it's not a real fucking scandal, and I predict that nothing is going to come out of it. Nothing will come out of it because it's just bullshit. Same thing with Benghazi. You know, I made a video about that Benghazi back when it happened, so I don't need to really like retread over what it's all about. But I just don't think it's not a real fucking scandal. It's like no laws were broken, you know, there were no ethics, you know, nothing, there was no unethical behavior, nothing fucking happened. They're just bringing it up over and over and over to try to get his approval rating down, and it doesn't really seem to be working so far, okay? I mean, the closest thing to a scandal is probably the NSA thing, but I just made a video on that, you know, check it out. I don't think that's much of a scandal either, but anyway. So I don't want to waste, you know, I don't make videos about these things because I don't want to waste my time, because just because people are talking about something doesn't mean that you got to talk about it. So that's what these little videos here are for. These little things I don't give a shit about videos are about. So I can go over all the stuff that I didn't make videos of. Anyway, so I think that's bullshit. What else? Michelle Bachmann is quitting. Thank fucking God. It's about fucking time. She is, yeah, Michelle Bachmann is one of the things that is wrong with this country. The fact that people like her exist and can actually get powerful enough to become congresspeople is just ridiculous. I don't even know how the fuck she got elected in the first place. It's like, I don't know. So thank fucking God she's leaving. Maybe we can get rid of the rest of them. Maybe like this is a sign that all of that stupid Tea Party shit from a few years ago is finally starting to like go away, and it'll just be a footnote in history that people can forget about. In like 50 years from now, we can just laugh at it, same way that we like laughed at like anti-communism now. But you know, like all of those Linda LaRouche kind of like crazy fucking crazy people in the 50s, like we just laugh at them now. Like maybe the same thing. Like 20 years from now, we're like, and then, you know, in the history books, then there was a thing called the Tea Party. They were fucking idiots. And like, maybe that's what'll happen, but hopefully. Fuck Michelle Bachmann. I hate that bitch. Some other stupid bullshit. Chris Christie's special election. I don't care, because I don't live in, you know, whatever state that he lives in, and it just doesn't affect me. People are pissed off because he's spending tax dollars to, like, you know, hold a special election 20 days before the normal election. And the only thing that I can really say about that is, that's what you get, you know. That's what you get for voting for one of these conservative assholes, you know, who, like, lies and doesn't really give a shit about his own principles. So maybe next time you'll think about that. You know, when you go and vote, look at, you know, who the person is and what they stand for, and, you know, vote accordingly. Some other stuff. Paris Jackson tried to kill herself. That's the daughter of Michael Jackson. Yeah, that really fucking sucks. That's too bad. You know, I hope the girl will get some help. Right. But, oh well, I mean, what do you think? You know, rich kids are fucked up. What can I say? Too bad. Angelina Jolie had a double mastectomy. Yeah, and so, I'm supposed to care about that? Seriously, I'm supposed to care? I don't fucking care. Somebody asked me to make a video about that. It's like, why the fuck would I make a video about Angelina Jolie's boobies? It's just, you know, unless that video is like me getting to, like, you know, touch them or something. I mean, it's like, I just, doesn't fucking matter to me at all, okay? What else? George Zimmerman is fat. Yeah, well, that's really fucking awesome. Yeah, make a video about George Zimmerman. It just doesn't affect me, and I don't even think that fucking matters. I don't know, folks. There's just so much bullshit out there. I mean, I think I'll just rename this little sub-series that, you know, bullshit that happened this month, June, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know, because that's all it really is. It's all just bullshit, okay? And it's bullshit that people talk about to, like, you know, talk about things because they want to talk. That's pretty much it. And I don't know. I guess maybe next month I'll come back with some more bullshit. Adios, folks.